nobody in this apartment but you. You and your thoughts. Do not tell people where you live. Just move back home. Like, it's so much easier if I'm just home. Like, hey y'all, welcome to Wind Down with Chardonnay. So today's video is going to be a little talk to y'all while I do my hair. It's something that came to my mind when I was watching the video, and I really wanted to touch base on it today. Sorry. Because it's something that I've been going through. I already started my hair because I ain't gonna lie, the last video I got off topic, so I just started a new video. But let's get right into it. So, hold on, I wrote it down on my phone. This video is going to be about moving out of state, feeling alone, and making friends. As some of you may know, I moved to Texas from Florida. Last year in June, I moved from Florida to Houston, Texas. I've been in Houston for a year. It's a year and 2 months so far. A year and a month, a year and almost 2. It has had its ups and downs. Like, when I first moved, I was just so excited. You know, just ready to explore the city and just do everything I couldn't do in my hometown, because I grew up in a small town, so I just felt like my growth was stunted because of where I was, and I just knew it wasn't a place for me. I needed to move to another city where it was more opportunity, more space just for me to like really be myself, because when you move to a new state, city, whatever, nobody knows you in that place, so you kind of can like be who you always wanted to be in a way. Not saying that in your hometown you can't do that, but in your hometown, it's people you grew up with your whole life, so it's like they already have this image of you in their head, so it's kind of hard to deviate away from how they already view you, because you grew up together. So they're like, oh, I already know her, that's how she is, and that's not gonna change. Rewind, back to moving. So moving out of state can be very like nerve-wracking in the beginning, because again, you don't know anybody, and especially as a young woman in like America, it's kind of like, it's kind of dangerous in a way, because people, I always say this all the time, but people will love to snatch you. Like, people love to try to take people who don't want to be taken. So I'm sorry, I think I'm getting sick. So people are always like going missing and stuff, and that's like one of the biggest things you have to worry about, because when you're going out and you're trying to like explore a new city, you have to be hyper vigilant and make sure you're not wandering into the wrong area. Moving to a new state, new city even, can be very, very stressful, because you don't know what to expect. Like, you have to build your life all over again. But the bright side of that is like you have a chance to build your life how you want to build it. So if you want to move to a new state and start and be a stripper, like, that's you. Do whatever you want to. It's your life. You only get one. And you have nobody here to hold you back, because again, you don't know anybody. You're in a whole different state. Like, you are basically creating a life you want for yourself. So if you want to come to, say for instance, you want to move to Houston. You want to move to Houston and start selling that thing on every corner. That's your business, because to people here, like, they don't know you. So you literally can come do anything you want. And you will get homesick. Like, I got homesick a couple of times. But being out here, like, I did get homesick, because it's not easy to just walk outside, like walk in my living room and go talk to my siblings. Like, me and my siblings are close. I'm close to my mom too. But now it's harder, because the only thing we have is the phone. So we talk on the phone a lot. But it's never the same as getting up, going to the living room, and talking to your siblings right in that present moment. And then I feel like I'm missing out on key family moments and stuff. But I know some people don't have a close relationship with their family, so they don't have to, they don't really experience that. But even if you're not close with your family, you still get homesick, because you just miss, your brain is missing the known. Like, when you move to a new place, a lot of stuff is unknown. Like, you don't know the people, you really don't know the area, you don't know your job that well, like, and you really don't know yourself until you leave your house. Like, so your body and brain are like, oh my gosh, I need to be home, because that's what you know, that's what you've known your whole life, is being home. And I felt like that sometimes, like, maybe I should just go back, because that's what I'm used to. I'm comfortable there. I know everybody. Like, I know how the guys are. I know how the people are. I just know everything about it. So it'll be much easier for me to just go home, start my life there, and be comfortable. But you only grow in uncomfortable environments. So if you're comfortable your whole life, you can grow, but your biggest growth is going to be when you are uncomfortable. And that comes with moving. Like I said in my last video, if you haven't watched it, my Houston Why I Moved video, if moving out of state is something you want to do, don't let anybody hold you back. Not even yourself. Like, don't let your fears of the unknown hold you back, because in the end, you're gonna regret it later in life if you never left and you're like, oh my gosh, I should have took that chance 10 years ago, but I never did because I was too scared. And now you're 40, 30 years old with 6 kids and, no way to really change your life, because other situations happen. Like, my biggest fear with moving, it was because in my mind I felt like every time I moved away from home, something traumatic happens. And like, even though I knew it wasn't true, but in my mind I'm like the catalyst. Like, obviously it's something I'm doing that is requiring, like, that's the reason the people who I'm closest to are getting sick every time I move away. So unfortunately, like, my grandma passed away, so again I moved home after that. So like, that whole situation put it into my mind that if I'm far away from home, something is going to happen to somebody in my family. So when I first thought about moving, like, I was really apprehensive about it, because again, I didn't want any bad things to happen. So I said that to say, like, it could be a lot of reasons, like, subconsciously, that you feel like you shouldn't move. And that's just like all your fears. Houston is far away from where I grew up, so I was really going through a mental debate for like a whole month of what I should do. And when I first applied for an apartment, they were like not trying to accept my transfer from work. So I was like, is this a sign for me to like just stay home, because nothing was working out? I submitted the application like 5 times and the screen kept blinking out and saying not working. And I kept trying. And I'm like, am I trying too much? And this is a sign for me to just let it go? Or do I need to try harder? So in that moment, I was just really thinking about, like, is this a place that I want to be? Is Houston a place I want to maybe spend the rest of my life at? Like, even if it wasn't Houston, because at that time I was still thinking about Dallas or San Antonio with my sister. So I was like, is this move really something I want to do? Because I could have easily moved to Jacksonville with my aunt, or Tampa with my other friend who was moving. Like, I could have easily stayed in a city in Florida that wasn't so far away. I really decided that I needed a whole change in environment, because I wanted to grow and blossom as a person. And moving out of Florida was the best decision I made for me personally, because this is going to transition into the next topic. Being alone and having to sit with yourself every single day, because you don't know any other people. Like, all you have is you. Feeling alone while you're living by yourself, because it's plenty of days where I'm just like in my bed, all in my head, because all I can do is sit here and think, because I'm by myself. So I'm literally like just contemplating every life decision I've ever made, every moment of every day. I'm by myself. I haven't made friends really, so I'm just like always in the house because again, living in a big city by yourself is always like people don't have the best intentions at heart. So I don't want to put myself into a situation. My mom, she is trusting that I'm making it home. If we don't, like, we talk a lot, but it's not every single day. So if she goes one day without talking to me, that's not nothing new, you know. So she wouldn't even know to worry until it gets to 2, 3, 4 days, and then by that time I could be anywhere. So I don't want to put that type of stress on her, and I also don't want to be in that type of situation where I done got kidnapped because I'm trying to drink, you know? It's really hard to like go out and meet people, and not everything has to involve drinking. Like, I'm not saying that at all because some stuff you can do without drinking, but most of the stuff in Houston is partying. So you going out, you meeting people, stuff like that. You just want to stay safe. And to avoid that, I've been staying in the house. So I barely go out. And if I do, like, I'm to myself because I feel like I'm not really a social, like, I'm not antisocial, but I'm not openly social. Like, if somebody comes talk to me, I'll talk to them. But I'm not a person who sparks the conversation. Like, if you start talking to me, I'll talk to you. And we can talk all day, but I don't like start the conversation with people. I feel like I'm still shy in that aspect. I do feel alone sometimes because again, I don't know anybody. I'm really not talking to anybody at all. Like, I really have nobody to talk to because it's kind of harder to make friends at this age because of those different things. Like, people have kids, people have families, and nothing against them. My best friend might have a kid. I never know, but those type of people are not gonna be out when I'm like when I go out to have drinks or go to happy hour or something. Most likely those people are not gonna be there. Or like the random places I go, people who are there are usually with groups of people. But there is hardly ever any other person in there by themselves. So I don't want to be, you know how it is trying, if it's already two people and the third person come in, these two people already know each other, so they're like this, so you're like this. You know, that's how it feels. It's hard, and I'm almost 30. Cause I've met some people, but they're like early 20s. My goals at 20s and my goals at almost 30 are completely different. Like, yeah, I want to go out, have fun, but that's not something I want to do every single weekend. I already had my phase of partying, going out every weekend, like turning up, and that's not something I want to do like every weekend. Yeah, we could have a good turn up. Don't get me wrong, but let's do something different. I want to explore. I want to do the boring stuff they say is boring, like museums, wine tasting, like trying all these new restaurants, stuff like that. Like, we go get hookah, we go chill, but I'm not trying to be in Space nightclub every single night, you know? It's okay to feel alone. Don't wallow in it because then you get all sad and depressed and stuff. Like, I'm saying this from experience because I'm gonna say about a month ago, yeah, maybe last month, I was feeling like really, really sad and down because I just felt like, yeah, I have people I talk to, but you know, it's not the same as actually physically being with a person. It can mess with your mental health sometimes, like constantly just being by yourself, being in your thoughts. Like, only thing you can do when you're alone is think. You just gotta learn to appreciate yourself. Like, at the end of the day, all you got is you. If you're not comfortable with yourself, it's gonna be hard when you move because that's the only thing you have to keep you company. Now, I could be like some people and just go get a man, go make some random friends if I really wanted to, but I'm not that type of person because I really want to have lasting friendships. Like, I don't want to just be friends with somebody just to say I have a friend. I want meaningful friendships, people I can rely on, people who can rely on me, not just people who are there for a good time. And I just don't want to call people only for a good time, you know? So when you move, you're gonna feel alone. Unless you were moving with somebody, even if you moving with somebody, you can still feel alone just because, again, you're in a new place, a new environment, you don't know anybody, you still get used to people, learning people, people are learning you. So that's okay. Those are going to be the moments when you think like you need to move back home because it's not coming easy to you to make friends. And everybody experience is different. Like I'm saying I didn't make friends easy, but I seen other people videos where they're like, oh, I found my forever friends and it just happened, blah blah blah. Like everybody's situation is different. So don't take everything I say like as Bible. You just have to experience it for yourself. Some people are more social than others. Like I'm not that social. I'm not an introvert, but I'm not an extrovert either. So it's gonna be different for everybody. You just gotta learn and grow for yourself. I feel like when you move by yourself, that's gonna really be the time where you grow because again, like I said, it's nobody in this apartment but you. You and your thoughts. You wanna move to a different state, do it. Don't let your fears get in the way. Don't let other people's fears for your life get in the way. Just try it out. I'm sure your hometown will always be there unless it's some miraculous war or something. But you owe it to yourself to give it a try and to give it a fair try. That is one of the main reasons I decided to stay another year in Houston because, thank you, I felt like I didn't give it a fair shot. Like, yeah, I've been here for a whole year. Yeah, I went out sometimes. Yeah, I did stuff. Yeah, I worked in the club, like stuff I said I was gonna do, but I didn't really give Houston a chance. I already had this preconceived notion of what it should be like, and when it wasn't that, I kind of started planning my escape plan. Like, just falling back on my comfort zone because I know if I go home, like, I already know how that is. I already know how the people are. Like nothing would change. So I really owe it to myself to try everything I wanted to try and flourish as a person here and just give it a fair shot. Like give meeting people a fair shot. Give dating a fair shot, even though I said I don't want to date, but I never know. I might be my husband out here, you know? We might, hey, y'all might be getting to see a wedding vlog coming. But not for real. Give your new city, state a fair shot. Don't be quick to run back home at the first sign of chaos because it might be a test to see how bad you want it. But it's up to you to know, take the signs as good or bad. If everything keep happening, like you got evicted, your car got stolen, like somebody shot you and all kind of stuff, maybe you need to go back home, okay? Maybe you do, and regroup. But on the flip side, that could also be your motivation to get a new car, move into a better apartment, move into a better neighborhood. Got all that stuff happening to you. Not park your car in those type of places, you know? So if this is something you want to do, go for it. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt at all. Like it won't kill, hopefully. So the best thing you could do is sit with yourself, learn yourself, and the sky's the limit from there. Like do what's best for you, okay? Live your life for you, not other people. You don't feel lonely, don't wallow in it. Embrace it, learn, grow. Now, making friends can be hard, especially when you're in your late 20s because people have different outlooks of friendship. People want different things out of friendship, so you just gotta find a person that matches you, okay? Find the people that match you. They will come. It might take some people longer than others, but they will come. Don't rush. Don't be hasty. Be careful of who you surround yourself with. You don't want people doing bad stuff to you. You don't want people using you. Don't pour more into people than they pour into you. It should be an equal thing. Just take your time with every decision. Take your time with every decision. You might regret moving. You might want to go back. You might go back. You might go back. I'm telling you, plenty of times I thought I was gonna go back. Being an adult is a lot. Like, you gotta constantly decide what you eating every day, and you gotta buy groceries and pay light bill and cable and internet and furniture and all that. Like, that gets aggravating. I want to go to my mama's house where everything is already there, you know? Some people live home forever. I'm not knocking it. But if you want different for yourself, you just got to spread your wings and fly. One might be a little broken. You might miss a few feathers. A few feathers might get plucked, but it's up to you to try. When a bird learns to fly, the mom drops them, basically kicks them out the nest, and then they decide if they want to fly or fall to their death. So you decide, do you want to fly or do you want to fall to your death? You might break a wing. You might break your beak. It's a lot of mites that can happen. But it's up to you to decide if you want to keep going or if you want to give up. Your goal is to move, start a new life, start a better life, whichever one. Are you going to work towards that goal or are you going to run when it gets tough? And I know some of y'all might say, well, my situation is different. I did this happened. I got to sleep in my car, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying blah, blah, blah to be dismissive, but I understand stuff happens. If you absolutely feel like you need to go back home and start over, do that. Don't let me on this internet tell you you got to stay and endure all these type of issues, all these type of problems. No, if you feel like you need to go home, restart, try again later, do that. Just don't get comfortable if it's not somewhere you want to be. Now, if it's somewhere you eventually say, okay, I still want to be here, I don't want to leave, that's fine and cool too. Like, that, do you, boo-boo? But if you're moving, get yourself together, don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. Always have it in your mind that I'm only here for a temporary time, I'm leaving soon. I'm only here for a temporary time, I'm leaving soon. When it's your time to leave, you're going to know. Like, I knew it was my time to leave. You're going to know when it's your time to leave because everything you do is like, I need to leave. This ain't for me. I need to leave. This isn't for me. I need to leave. You don't know. Okay, y'all. Oh, my battery died. Hold on. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what videos y'all want to see next. Bye.